doing today? Thank you so much for attending this kind of spur of the moment webinar. For the last probably 6 to 8 weeks, I have been putting together this entire monthly marketing success kit for women entrepreneurs. And I started talking to my coach on, I think it was Thursday, and we decided that to launch it, to really help support you and to be able to put this together, that it would be best with doing a webinar. So here we are. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday to attend today's monthly marketing success kit webinar, where I am going to help break it down for you about how you should be marketing your business. We're going to start with breaking it down yearly. Even if you already have planned out your year, you're still going to want to review and look over this. From there, then we're going to break it down into monthly and then into weekly and daily. I want you to be able to wake up every morning knowing exactly what your marketing steps are for your business. Most of the time when I hear women say that their business isn't growing as fast as it should be, or they want to convert more clients and customers, when I ask them about their marketing, they're like, oh, well, I send out an email newsletter once a week and I write a blog post for it. And that's the extent of their marketing. And then they might even throw in that they occasionally post on Facebook. And I've got news for you. That is not a marketing plan that is going to help you reach your goals and even exceed them, because that's what I want you to do. I want you to be successful, and it all starts with planning. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch over to presentation mode for a bit, and you're going to need a pen and paper for that because I'm going to be giving you a lot of information with it. I'm going to basically break down the yearly, monthly, and weekly for you. Then I want you to spend the rest of the day really thinking about it and taking it all in. I don't want to send you a bunch of PDFs immediately after the webinar that send you into overwhelm. I want you to let it digest and really think about how you're going to take and how you're going to create your action plan for this week. And then tomorrow, I'm going to send you documents that will help you get started, help you plan it all out, and make sure that you've got your T's crossed and your I's dotted with your marketing plan. Then after the presentation, I am going to flip over to teach you a little bit about Facebook advertising. It's a hot topic right now. Lots of people want to know more info on it because they still feel like they're not getting the results that they should be with Facebook ads. So we're going to do a quick demo on that will show you how to set up a very basic ad targeting exactly your right people. I'm even going to give you a tool that nobody, I mean, every time I tell one of my clients this, they're like, what? I didn't even know about this. And they've taken other training. So I'm going to give you a tool that you can use that will help you find your audiences more before you start setting up the Facebook ads. And then I'll come back on here and I'll answer any questions that you have. But I am going to wait for questions until all of the content has been delivered. So please be patient with me. If you do have a question, I will get to it at the end of the webinar. Unless you can't hear me, of course, but I can see my little green line showing that my microphone is working, and I'm seeing my face right now, so I'm pretty sure video is working too, so you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. So let's go ahead and hop over to my desktop and let's get started. Okay, so you should right now see my screen that says your monthly marketing success kit. Now, before we get started, if you want to, there's no pressure here. You do not have to if you don't want to, but I would love if you could tweet or Facebook and tag me in it, letting your friends know that you are getting your monthly marketing in check and that Allie Rittenhouse is going to give you exactly what you need today. Shout it to the rooftops, because honey, they are going to see your business grow after you start to implement this. So I'll go ahead and give you a second to go ahead and do that, just so that I can make sure you also can see my screen. All right, let's go ahead and get the party started. So before we go into the content of today, I am going to start off telling you just a little bit about me. There we go. Nope, we went too far. There we go. I'm not going to spend 10 minutes talking about it. We're going to make it quick because I know that you want this content and you want it now, or yesterday rather. So if you're unfamiliar with my story, I started out my entrepreneurial, such a hard word, my journey as an entrepreneur. I started it out as a high school dropout, teen mom. I was fired and I was going through a divorce. This is kind of how the whole start of my business began. Now I fast forward, I have built my successful business from my small town. I was able to, within 9 months of moving in with my parents during my divorce, I was able to move back out on my own for the first time ever in my life. I had never paid my own bills. I had never lived on my own. I went straight from my parents' house to living with my daughter's father, my husband, and then to divorce back to my parents' house. So it was definitely a whirlwind of a year. When people say there's never the right time to start a business, they aren't kidding. This was, probably my most craziest. My life was completely turned upside down, and I still was able to build my successful business. Fast forward a few years, and I am back together with my ex-husband. This is us with our daughter. We just adopted an adorable puppy named Piper, which would add to now 3 dogs that we have. And you can see her adorable picture on the screen. And I went from being a high school dropout to also now being the local digital diva for a local lifestyle television show. And you can see that picture of me right before I was getting to go on. You've heard of green rooms. Well, this is their green room. It's actually orange, but that was me getting ready to go on Living Dayton. So definitely have come a very long way to where I am now, and it has been a fabulous journey. In fact, coming up this summer, I am going to be celebrating 10 years of business. Now, for any entrepreneur, that is a phenomenal feat to reach, but not just being an entrepreneur, going from high school dropout to now entrepreneur with an international business and celebrating 10 years is pretty marvelous. So I'm totally excited about it, and having you here, we're definitely going to be celebrating this summer, and you're going to want to hang out for at least that duration. And it's very exciting because every single month my website reaches over 150 different countries, and it's really has to do with this marketing plan that I'm going to be teaching you here in a minute. How I was able to break it down to really market my business is what I'm going to teach you how to do today. So if you don't have that pen and paper, you need to make sure that you have it handy right now so that you can be taking lots of notes about what we're going to cover. and then I'm going to give you all of the worksheets and documents that you need. So why did I create this? You know, lots of people teach marketing. Lots of people, you know, tell you what you need to do. But when you really start to think about it, there isn't any of them. Okay, my screen is black. Can you see it when I do this now? So maybe I'll just need to leave it on here. Not as pretty, but whatever. It might have to do with Keynote. So hopefully you can see that now. Thank you for the message, Sherry. I appreciate it. I made the slides really general because this isn't what we're really, the important part of today, right? It's just to give you a visualization while I'm not on camera. So why I created this was, again, you know, you think about all these gurus. How many people tell you, okay, every year you need to do this, and then help you break it down to month? Most, and I'm going to say myself included, when they send out these New Year forms and documents to create your dreams and goals for the year, there isn't one that tells you how many new freebies you have to create, how many webinars that you need to host a year. They don't break it down for you. So now you've got it. I'm going to give it to you today. And even though it's March, it's still going to be perfect. And you're going to make it totally work for your business. You're going to start to implement it today because I want you to see results. I want you to start seeing your business grow, and you're totally capable of doing it. And everything except for one thing is free. Now, as you start to run Facebook ads, that is paid, but you can totally flip around your return on investment. So I created this because so many people are talking about there being nothing like this out there. And them still coming to me. They've signed up for high-end mastermind programs, not mine, mind you, other people's mastermind programs that teaches about coaching and how to put yourself out there in an authentic way. But they still are stuck without a marketing plan that tells them exactly what they need to do with their business. So while it's all fine and grand that they know how to coach, they don't know how to market, to get clients, to be able to coach. So that's what we're going to help you put together today. I want you to start off with your yearly plan. Even though we're in March, I want you to visualize the rest of the year. I want you to think about what you want to accomplish. And I'm going to tell you the things that you need to do. So, got that paper ready? One thing that it's not one thing. There's a lot of things that women, I don't want to say you do it wrong or we do it wrong, but nobody taught us how to do it. So we kind of lack that proactive mindset. Instead, we react in reaction mode. So, oh, I've got a launch coming up. I've got to get lots of interviews, or I got to submit a bunch of guest posts, or I got to throw together a webinar. Instead of every single week, every single month, taking care of your business so that when it does come time to launch, you have a list of people interested in what you are offering. So with your yearly plan, you are going to come up with three big list builds. Think about your marketing right now. How many times have you done a big list build event and it not be attached to a launch? Let me just say that. Right? Okay, so let's talk about the three big list builds that you're going to do. It really can vary. One thing that I teach people is that I can tell you or help you see what you need to be doing, but you still have to make it work for yourself and your business. I'm not going to tell you to put together a 3-part video series if you absolutely hate being on video. You're never going to create it. You're not going to market it like you should, and it's not going to work as a big list build. So think about 3 different events that you can do as big list builds. Some might include, but not limited to, business challenges, contests and giveaways, telesummits, interview series that are attached to landing pages. You could create a new video series. Guides and freebies that are only up for a limited amount of time. And what I mean by that is holidays work fabulous to create different PDFs or help documents. Think about the holidays and how stressful they can be for people eating who are trying to be healthier. So maybe you put together some type of eating guide, dictionary that gets them through the holidays. And it's something that you can physically put up and charge for, but you're going to give it away free. Think of all the people that are going to pass it on or share it, and they can only get it for a limited amount of time. So there's the scarcity that will get people more excited about it. This also will work great for running Facebook ads to it. So that could be considered a big list build. You're not selling anything at the end of it. You're simply building your list to add more people to it to get into your funnel that you can nurture and convert to clients. So you can run one list build twice a year if it is a great product and not based off of a holiday. We run the Back to Business Challenge that is now converting over more to the Success Kit. The Back to Business Challenge can be used in the fall when everybody goes back to school, right? And parents, moms start to really get back into business. The same is true at the first of the year. Everybody's getting back into business after the holidays, after the breaks, after the year. They're getting back into things. So that big list build could be technically used twice or count twice as 2 of my big list builds. Then I would only need to come up with 1 more. I do a DIY telesummit that basically takes my favorite top entrepreneurs, has 1 topic that each of them teach, and it is actionable items that people can immediately leave the interview series and implement into their business. That would be considered my 3rd list build. It doesn't go into a launch. It simply builds the list and gets people learning and being more familiar. And if you have a new idea for a list build, go for it. People are having great success with Instagram contests. If you have a huge Facebook page, create a custom landing tab from Heyo and use that to give away your signature program. People have to opt in order to enter. So it doesn't have to be based off of creating new information. You can even take a series of webinars that you taught that all fit together, and you can package them up as a list build. And when people sign up for that, you can send them each of those videos. but you want to be building that list at least 3 times a year where you're not leading into anything. Now, I'm not saying that you can't lead into consultation calls or strategy calls, but this is to really to boost your list building. I want to get you to having more than 100 people on your list. I want to get you to having 1,000 people on your list and then 2,000 people on your list. And it's completely doable, but you have to plan it out. As we're talking about list building items, you may be shocked for me to tell you this, but you need to create 2 new freebies every year. Now, you can use the same content and repackage them into new ones, but as your business grows, as your list grows, people are going to need new free content to learn from you, to pass on to their friends. My very first free offering was how to change your email to Gmail. Now, let's think about that for a second. When that freebie came out, Gmail was so new and revolutionary that people really weren't sure why they should be using it or if they should be. So what that freebie did was teach them exactly why they needed to switch their email accounts from Microsoft Office Outlook or Apple Mail to Gmail. And it helped hundreds of people at the time make the conversion. But to have that freebie now, it really doesn't make much sense. I still use the PDF to refer people to so that they can see all of what Gmail or Google Apps has to offer, but it's no longer a good list building tool. So as you're reviewing all of your content, I want you to think about what 2 freebies that you can create. It can be a new video. It can be a PDF that you created. It doesn't have to be massive, like a 3-part video series. But it needs to teach them something that they're going to learn, be able to implement, and see results from. Okay, so you've got that. Next, one of the last parts of what new needs to be created is, and you might think, oh, this is too much. I don't think that I can do it. But I want you to be the student that takes in everything that I say today. I don't want you to question anything that I'm telling you today. I want you just to listen and follow along. I want you to put on your plan to do a webinar once a month. It's really not that much. And you can even recycle the same content. It doesn't have to be 12 different webinars. But I want you to do a webinar once a month at least. Why? 1, you are teaching your audience live right now, right here. You guys are seeing this happen. You're feeling connected with me. You're hearing what I have to teach. You may have not had any idea of what I had to offer because you just got on my email list and maybe you haven't received any other emails. But once you come and you learn and you see my teaching style or you see my coaching style and you really dig it, It's going to help you with that know, like, and trust factor. The same is true for your audience and what they're feeling, seeing, touching, connecting with you. Once a month is really not that much. It's not. And you don't have to do once a month if you really are just like, damn it, that's too much. But like I said, I want you to be student today. And I want you to put down, after we're done, I want you to put down a date of when your webinar is going to be, your first one that you're going to hold. You don't have to have fancy, expensive software. You can use YouTube Live. It's really simple to set up. And, well, obviously I'm having a little bit of screen sharing difficulty right now, but we're making it work. And then once you have all of this new content, I want you to also do one big full-on launch. Now, one of your freebies might be the video series that leads into a launch. And that might help you a little bit. Or your webinars might lead into your launch. You can have great webinars that convert. Now, today, I'm not selling you on anything. This is seriously just information that I'm giving to you that's going to help your business. I'm not selling you on anything. But on your webinars, you can. And they work really well. So for your year, you're going to have 3 big list builds. You're going to host monthly webinars. You're going to create 2 new freebies. And you're going to do 1 launch. And that's it. I say that's it, but we're getting ready to dive into monthly and weekly. But hopefully that doesn't feel so overwhelming to you. And you can see that the importance of list building. It seriously is how your business stays growing. If you're not doing list building, your business isn't growing. I guarantee it. Unless you are an SEO guru and your site is #1 on Google always. But if you're not doing list building and your list isn't growing, your business is not growing. You're not going to make more money in it. Don't discount these things. Now, to help you with your yearly plan, 2 things that really help me once I have the general idea of what I'm going to do. So a couple of supplies. If you're not an Amazon Prime customer, go to your local Staples near you. I unfortunately don't have a Staples near me anymore, or Office Depot or anything like that. I have a Walmart, but they don't really have a great office supply section. So either Amazon Prime or Staples. What you're going to want to get is a dry erase at a glance yearly calendar. They make them so one side's horizontal and the other side's vertical. Then I also have a 60-day at a glance dry erase calendar that hangs up right next to it. What I've done is I break down the year. I put on it any launches, any retreats, anything that needs to happen. this is where you would put these big list builds, the webinars that you're going to host. You plan it all out on your yearly planner that hangs on your wall so that you can visually see it. I have a multi-pack of dry erase markers so that all of the different options have a different color. So it stands out a little bit more. So not everything is written in there in black. Then on my 60-day planner, I will take the 2 months that are coming up ahead. And it's almost like I've blown up those 2 months, right? So it's on a bigger calendar that I can write out every email, everything that needs to happen. If you're not planning, you're planning to fail. So I want you to take this stuff down, plan to make it happen. Now, when you're setting up your goals for the new year, you probably came up with income that you want to earn every month, right? So you want to put that income on the calendar too, so that you can see monthly what you've broke down. Now on my calendar next to the months, there's like a white spot that I can put that total in there so that I can see what that goal is. Once I have everything kind of broke down into the calendar on the 60-day and the full year, then you can really start to dive into making things happen every month. So I've put my total next to the month of what I want to earn, but I need to know how many sales that I need to achieve to hit my monthly mark. So what is the easiest thing to do? Well, I'm going to break down that number as much as possible. I have a rolling mastermind where we bring in new people every month, rather than most masterminds where they take on 10 people all at one time and begin from there. Mine goes monthly. So I know that in order to hit our monthly financial goals for 2015, we want to bring in at least one new mastermind member a month. That is ideal. But to really push ourselves, we want to bring in 2. So I know that in order to bring in 2 people, I need to have some consultation calls, right? I need to have strategy calls, people who are interested in joining this mastermind. So by having the total of what I want to make each month and knowing that my totals stay the same every month. They don't fluctuate, during the summer or Christmas time. They basically stay the same. And so by knowing that, I know that I'm going to have X amount of consultation calls in order to at least get one of those sales. Well, I can't have consultation calls with new people that might be interested in the program if I'm not doing any list building. So that's why that stuff comes in handy, having it on your calendar and making sure you know. I would try to schedule your big list builds before the big launch. So I don't want your big list build to necessarily enter straight into your launch, because I want you to nurture them more. I want you to give them more of your content, to at least give them one webinar. I want you to really wow them with your free content, so when you come to that launch time, they are prepared and ready to buy. Oftentimes, when we just do 3-part video series that leads into a launch, if we've brought in a bunch of new people that are unfamiliar with what we're offering, they might need more time to be nurtured to get that know, like, and trust factor up. So I want your big list builds to happen at least 1 month before you even think about selling them on anything. At least 1 month, if not 2. So now that we're breaking down your month plan, you've got your year. Now we're moving on to the month, right? We've got to make it happen. Now, every month is going to look different. So your plan might change from week to week on your month, and that's okay. But you still want to have a generalization of what's going to happen. So with your, okay, so I mentioned that I know I need to bring in at least 1 new mastermind member, but I really would like to bring in 2. So I know consultations and strategy calls have to be on my monthly plan. Now, it doesn't mean that I have to do these consultation calls every day or every week of the month. I can open up my calendar for 1 week out of the month and do strategy calls. Now, for me, the way that my coaching schedule works is I only do my mastermind coaching calls on specific days, which are Tuesdays and Thursdays. This helps me to really stay focused and on those days. Now, I don't do it every week because of how the coaching schedule goes. So on an off week of coaching, I will spend that Tuesday and Thursday doing consultations and strategy calls or discovery sessions, whatever you want to call them, so that I can start talking to people, finding out what their problems are and seeing how I can help them achieve their goals. I'm not just getting on a strategy session because I really want to get to know the person. I want to help their business. And that's the honest to God's truth. It's not just about making a sale or whatever. When I get on the phone with these people, I ask them, what is one thing you are really struggling with your marketing? And by the time that we hang up, I want them to feel confident in how they are going to take steps forward. The more that I can help somebody be successful, the more that they're going to turn to me for that know, like, and trust. So consultations are a must for me, but I'm going to save them for around the 3rd week of the month to do my consultations. Not always, but that is generally how my schedule breakdown goes for coaching. Having my coaching on these days also allows for me to focus on other things like my monthly webinars, like my content creation list builds. If I'm packed every day with coaching, it doesn't leave any time for growth or success on my behalf. Sure, I'm helping my clients grow, but once they're done, I'm not going to have a new pool of people to help grow their business. So that's why it's really important to really start with that year and then bring it into the month of when you're going to offer it. Now, I can't tell you that, this has to be done in each month. I would generally say that you're probably going to launch around February or March, or you're probably going to launch sometime around September, October, depending on what your product is. Now, if your product is to get somebody bikini ready in 5 weeks before summer, you're probably not going to launch until April. Then they're going to start their program in May. So you still have to be the best business judge of your clients and when they're going to need it. And then you kind of work backwards from there. So to break down mine for you, If I am going to launch my program or open enrollment in October, that first week of September at the latest, at the absolute latest, probably I'm going to, so you get kind of tricky with September, October because of kids going back to school. But somewhere between those last 2 weeks of August, that first week of September, I'm going to do some type of list build. Now for me, that is my back to business challenge. I do that because it's perfect time. They're getting their kids back. They're getting their kids back in school and they need help and support. Then come that first week of October, I'm going to release my free video series for the launch. Then I'm going to lead it into a webinar, which is your monthly webinar that you have scheduled. And starting on the webinar, at the end of it, I would start selling enrollment into the program. And that would be how I would structure that. So you can see that the big list build gets them geared and ready. Then they do that. Then they're going to go into kind of automation mode where they're going to be getting my favorite blog posts. They're going to, maybe get some more freebies. Then when I'm ready to launch in October, they love me. They love my content. They already know that they want to sign up for my program. So we know for our month plan, you're going to do consultations. Consultations or strategy calls or discovery sessions. It's one of the fastest ways to get them to buy from you. People don't pull out their credit card for people that they don't know. They just don't, especially not for a $1,000 program or a $15,000 program. How many times have you pulled your credit card out and bought a $1,000 program without really knowing the person? Or how many masterminds have you signed up for without doing a consultation first? Now, in your monthly marketing success kit, there is a consultation flow document that is basically going to help you get from their problem to paying customer on a consultation. So that is going to be one of the documents you're going to get. When you are doing your monthly planning, you're also going to map out weekly content. Now, maybe you work best in themes. So maybe you have an entire theme for your social media, blog, newsletter campaign every week. That this week is all about getting your body up and moving. So my blog post is going to be about that, but then all of my social posts for the week are going to follow that theme to help support it. You kind of want to map out weekly what that's going to look like. Now, again, this is where I go back to the 60-day calendar and I will physically write what the topic is into that week. It can change. It's not set in stone. If you're not digging it, you're not feeling it, you're not writing it, change the topic. It's okay. But this at least gives you a rough idea draft to follow along with. Now, as you're doing your monthly planning, I want you to really look at the goals for that month. I want you to look at your financial goal of what you want to hit. But I also want you to set a goal of how many new people you want to add to your email marketing list. Maybe it's only 20, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be 2,000. I want it to be goals that are set and doable. So Your goal for that month, for that webinar, might be to have 20 people attend live to give your fresh new content to. But you need to break it down into that month. It's really hard to see, let's say your income goal is $150,000. $150,000 might be a big number for you to look at if you haven't even made your first sale. But, and I'm not even sure what the total would be. Let me look real quick. So if you were to divide that, that's $12,500. If you have a $3,000 package that you are selling, if you take that $12,500 and divide it by 3,000, you only have to sell 4 for that entire month. That's 1 a week. So much more doable than staring at $150,000 sitting on your calendar and it not being broke down. So if you're a website designer and let's say you charge $4,000 a month. How do I want to do this? That's like 3 that you have to sell for the month. So when you have that broke down, it makes it a lot easier. Now we are going to give you a Know Your Numbers worksheet that you'll get tomorrow so that you can start this. So you can truly make those goals a reality instead of just saying it over and over again or year after year and never achieving it. It's okay. You don't have to raise your hand if that's been you for the last couple of years. We're going to get you there. So now that you've got your monthly plan, it's time to start diving into your week plan. And let me just tell you, your week plan really is a daily plan. But I like to set things up more on a single day and then know what I have to do for the week rather than trying to set it up separately every day. So if you've been part of my Back to Business Challenge, you may already be familiar with what I have you do to break down your week. If you're not, we're going to teach you. If you are, stay tuned because you still probably need a reminder. So what I want you to do first with your weekly plan is know that your blog and your newsletter are not the only thing that you need to do for the week, but they are a really important part of it. So when I say, you know, if that's all you're doing, you're not doing it right. You are, because it's important. I'm not saying you're not doing it right. I'm just saying that you're not doing enough. There's more to marketing your business than your newsletter and your blog. So I want you to, what I've done here is break it down by day so that every day you know you have something to do. It will be a lot less overwhelming to be able to look at that than Monday morning to wake up and be like, shit, I got to pitch myself here and I got to write a post there and I got to do this and I got to do that. You'll be like, I'm not doing anything, right? So what we have done is help you for your, this is like just the marketing like piece of the puzzle. So Monday, you start off every week with the Social 15. Now, this is something that you do need to do every single day, But on Mondays, you're probably actually going to do the social 15 times 2. You're probably going to spend about 30 minutes planning out your post for the week and getting everything ready. Monday is all about that social media. You are going to get the social 15 document, which breaks down 15 minutes of social play for you, play by play, minute by minute, what you need to do. Now on Mondays, it's great to curate your content for the week. Maybe it's finding outside links, it's going into Canva and creating social quote images, anything that is kind of social related. Your blog post for the week previous, you may want to remind them about it. So that might be one of your social posts for the week. A great way to truly make your social media happen every day. And I do this on my VIP days with all of my clients because it really does help them. You know how certain families, and maybe this was bigger like in the 80s when I was born, but you would have a schedule for your dinner for the week. Maybe it was meatless Monday, taco Tuesday, whatever you want Wednesday. But there was a theme for every day of the week. And this helped busy moms like mine who worked a full-time job. My dad owned his own plumbing business, so he was like always on call. This helped them so that we ate food in our house, even though we did eat out a lot back then too. But this really, this helps you put together theme for your social media. So Mondays might be, for mine, it's like marketing Monday. Wednesday is Wealth Wednesday. Friday is fashion. This is for the new brand that I'm putting out. We created Sundays are selfie Sundays, but they're not about selfies. They're about taking care of yourself. So we put together this theme that helps us know, okay, all right, Monday, this is what we got to write about. When you do this for your social media, it takes out the guesswork. Mondays might be motivational, and you post a quote every Monday to get somebody going for the week. And you put that quote on top of a picture that you created with Canva. Tuesdays might be tell it like it is, and you tell a story or you share behind the scenes pictures. Having that consistency and that plan with it will help you really make it happen. So Mondays, you're going to be focusing on social media and the social 15. But the social 15 really is something you're going to be doing every single day. 15 minutes a day on social media is all you need. You don't need to spend hours on there, I promise. Tuesdays are all about guest post. Now remember, this is we're talking about marketing your business. So Tuesdays are about guest posting. Now that does not mean that every Tuesday you have to write a new guest post. What you're probably going to do is spend the first Tuesday of the month pitching your ideas. Then you're going to spend the next 3 writing those guest posts. It may only be 1 guest post a month. It may be 3 guest posts a month. But I want you guest posting every single month, at least once. Your favorite blog, your favorite friend's blog. Maybe a blog that you've never even read before, but you know that your ideal clients are hanging out on. And don't worry, in the social media marketing, or social media, and the success marketing kit, you're going to get a free swipe copy template that will break down the guest post pitch that you need to send out. Now, of course, you're going to need to customize it for your business and your guest post and the audience, but you're going to make it happen. You're going to start with Tuesday, and I'm going to give you what you need. Then Wednesday, is all about landing interviews. Landing interviews is not just about a Skype conversation with somebody or an audio phone call. We're talking about landing an appearance on your local lifestyle television show, or maybe even your local news. What about radio? What about your favorite podcast? Maybe it's a text interview where they just send you questions and you have to answer them. But you're going to pitch yourself to get these interviews, because you might be surprised to find out that majority of interviews that happen are because people pitch themselves. Entrepreneur on Fire is a massive podcast. John Lee wasn't knocking down my door saying, Allie, I need to interview you. Hell no, we pitched him and he found out about me then from my pitch and was like, shit, yeah, absolutely, we got to have you. And I'm now known as the Girl on Fire podcast for an interview for him. So it all starts with you pitching yourself to these people. They're big, they're busy. They honestly don't have time to probably research out. They want to hear from you because you know that you're perfect for their audience. So with that, I am going to give you another swipe copy document that helps you land the interview. And then after the interview post, really learn how to maximize it so that you can get invited back, so that people see it and have great results. You want to make it awesome. So we're going to give you that. Thursdays are a great day for your newsletter, whether it's actually sending it out or it's just your prep day and your writing day for it. Thursdays also work well to set up your Facebook ads, gearing up for the weekend so that people can see them. Now, not everybody's brand is going to be great to run ads through the week. In fact, my people are farting around on Facebook during the day as you're trying to build your business, right? So my ads, you might see them more during the day or late at night on weekends. But it's great to get this stuff set up on Thursdays. Fridays are reserved for follow, which means following on social media and following up with past consultations, past clients, all of that. Now I'm breaking all of this down for you. I've got worksheets and everything that is really going to help you out. So I want you to write these things down, but I'm going to give you swipe copy that you can customize and send out for yourself. So that is, in a nutshell, what you should be doing to market yourself. Every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, every month, and then every year. So now that I've given you all of that, if you have any questions, we're going to go into the Facebook training real quick. I'm going to try to keep it to about 10 or 15 minutes. I've got some great documents that are going to help you a lot more on it. And then we're going to go into the question and answer. I saw some come through my email. So now is the great time to submit your questions, any that you have. Know that we're going to give you all of these documents starting tomorrow that will help you out. I'm even put together a blog idea generator. Well, they're not the generator because there's generators out there for you. I've got the links that you'll be able to use, but I've given you a list of different types of blog posts that you can write. So it doesn't have to be the same type of blog post over and over again. We've also done the same with social media. We've given you plenty of different ideas on different social posts that you can use so that you're always keeping your social media accounts fresh and interesting. Now, you're still going to have to do some of the work yourselves, but we pretty much have broken it down a lot for you so that it is really, really helpful. So let me let me get over to here. All right, so can everybody then, well, I can't really see if you tell me that you can't see it, but I've got it pulled up on my phone, so I'm pretty sure that you can. Right now, I'm not running any ads except a retarget ad that we kind of have on hold for the moment. Sorry, I hope everybody can see everything now. I really do. But because we're revamping the mastermind page, so we're not really sending traffic there. So that's the only ad that is active right now. But you can see that, let me go into it. This is a retargeting ad. So basically what that means is that people who visit my, you can see we have not, oh wait, this is all the way back to when we started it. But people are seeing this when they go to the mastermind page, but have not applied to be part of the mastermind. This kind of reminds them that we're taking applications and that they can subscribe because, again, it's a rolling mastermind program. Now we've spent, I think it said like $120, $130. And just since we like ran this, started run, like when we have it active, we almost always convert somebody over from it. So I think we've signed up at least 3 people from this ad, which is like $45,000, and we paid $130, I think, for it. So you can see that you don't have to spend a shit ton of money on ads for them to work for you. In all actuality, if you have an $800 program that you're selling and you have it set up to retarget or to get new people, and you spend $400 on it, you only have to make 1 sale to pay for those ads. And you're still making $300 off of it. So I'm saying so a lot today. I use ads for everything. What we're also going to teach you how to do, you can only see the last side from the calendar. Oh, you know why? I think I know why. Hold on. Mind you, I have not done a ton of these. Back with my glasses on. Let's try this again. We need to switch screens is what needs to happen. There we go. Now you can see it. Okay. So thank you guys for keeping me on top of this today. It is Saturday, and this is like, I think, my second Google Hangout. Normally I use GoToMyWebinar, but we're trying new technology so that I can teach you new technology. So now you can see my Facebook ad. So we've spent like around $130, and we were able to convert 3 people on it. To get started on your ads, you need to know who you're going to be attracting, who you're going to be targeting, right? So for me, I have a list of, it's probably at least 30 to 35 different pages that I target, whether it be Infusionsoft or Marie Forleo. They all are people, they're all people that my ideal customer is going to like, right? And it's not that I'm like trying to steal their customers. I'm not, but it's a great way to target the people that you know want your stuff or need your stuff. So an example is Footsie Rolls. They are flats that people in New York City wear, like, let's say they have to walk from their apartment to Fashion Week. Well, they're not going to walk in their stilettos. They can't, right? Their legs are going to be killing them because it's like 20 blocks. So what they'll do is they'll put their Footsie Rolls on. They'll carry their heels in the bag. When they get to the event, they take their Footsie Rolls off and put their heels on. One thing that the brand company found was that all of their ideal customers were coming to them, not all of them, but a big majority of them. They liked the show Gossip Girl. Now, with that info, can you imagine being able to target people that liked that show because they were your ideal customer? Of course, your sales are going to increase based off of that. So one piece that not a lot of people talk about, like I said, this is like a huge, I can't even believe that people aren't teaching it in Facebook ad trainings that people are paying hundreds or thousands of dollars for. So over when you're in Facebook ads /ads/manage, you can also get there. You'll see when you go to Facebook /ads, it'll take you over to advertising. Then you click on manage your ads. Then over on this left-hand side over here, do you see where it says audience insights? Okay, that's where you're going to click on, and that's what's going to bring you to this screen right now. We are going to get info on pages our ideal customer likes, or info on people that like our page. So we're going to select everybody on Facebook. Now you can pull in your email marketing list. There's so many things you can do. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to get you to see who your ideal customers are so that you have some more options to target, right? So you can go through here. You can do the location. So let's like just put in Australia too. Just so we have another country. You can put in as many as you want. My age of my people is always, they're always at least in their 30s. And we'll go, I would say, to probably about 45. They are also always women. Always. I don't even really sell to men. So why am I going to put all or men on there? I'm not. Then what I want to do is go by interest. Now, if you have or have not ran a Facebook ad, I will quickly show you. I've got another PDF for you and video that's going to show you more in depth on it. But this is, again, just to get you started. We're going to type in Marie Forleo. Most people on my call, I'm sure, have heard of her, so I'm just going with her for right now. Now she shows up here, so I can add her to my list. I now can see valuable insights on my target age, my target location, that with my target interest. So you can see 73% of women are 35 to 44. So that is most likely what number I would use to target on my ad, my age group. Then I can come over and I can look at page likes, and it tells me what different pages they like so that I have more options of targeting people on my Facebook ads. Rich Girl Business, Allie Brown. I've never heard of this person before, but good to know. That's a completely new resource that I can maybe tap into that I didn't even know existed. Nick Ortner, he's the tapping guy. So you can see that. Female Entrepreneur Association's another one that I do target. So it gives you great info into people that like Marie Forleo's page. Then it breaks down all of this here. Sandy Karowski, that's another person that I target in my Facebook ads. So it's great to see that here, to know that, yes, my ideal customer, I'm hitting the mark on these pages that they like. I'm attracting them. But here is where I think the valuable information really comes in. You can find their location based off of who I've selected targeting here. You can see what they do on Facebook and what devices they're on. But here you get their household information. You can see how much money they are making. You can see how many people are in their family, their market value of their home. Now, one thing that you may not know, and I will show you how to do this, you can target what their market value of their home is. So for my mastermind, I would maybe want to target more of the $200,000 to $500,000 home price because they will be able to afford my mastermind pricing. So super, super great info here that you have to dive into before you go creating your first ad. Now, once you have that info, you can then decide whether you want to run an ad through the Power Editor or if you just want to run a simple ad campaign. Now, some people will say that they only want you to run it through the Power Editor. I say, I just want you to run a damn ad. Whatever is easiest for you is how I want you to run it. If you want an ad that does not show up on your Facebook page, but allows for you to type as much info in it that you want, you're probably want to go to Power Editor. Now, my 2 videos that I have show you how to do stuff in the non-Power Editor, so I'm going to go to Power Editor today. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you click on Power Editor, which is also, you have to be in Chrome as your internet browser. You cannot be in any other browser. You have to be in Chrome. Once you're in Chrome, you will see Power Editor over here. Then once it opens, what you need to do is you need to download to Power Editor. It'll have the options here. You're going to select download. So this is basically downloading any of your ad information into here. Why it makes you do this, I don't have the answer for you, but you just have to do it. Okay, so we don't have any ads that are active right now. So that's why really nothing's showing up. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to click on, you can click on campaigns or you can click on ads and then you want to click the plus sign. If you start clicking on ads, it'll walk you through setting up all 3 because you have to give them a name. Why you have to do all 3, again, I don't know. This is just what we have to do. So you can either select one that's already existing or you can create a new one. If you're creating your first ad, you're going to want to create a new campaign. So we'll just say this is test ad Facebook. The type that you want is you want auction. You don't want a fixed price. I always leave it at auction. And then what is your objective that you want them to do? I'm always going to use website conversions unless I want them to like view a video, which I will tell you my last round of ads, I was getting 1 cent per video view. However, the conversion rate wasn't as high, but I was paying 1 cent per video view. It was insanely cheap and ridiculous, but my conversions weren't as high. So I like to go with website conversions. When it says website conversion, that means that somebody is signing up for my list, and that's what I'm paying for because that's the purpose of the ad. You have to know what your goal is for your ad. You want people on your list. So you want the website conversion. You don't want them just to click through to your website. You want them on your list. So then you're going to create an ad set name, which is also going to be test ad Facebook webinar. I like to keep it all the same so that I know. Now, if I'm targeting a specific page on this one, I'm also going to put the page on the set so that I know. So we'll put Marie Forleo just because that's what I've been talking about. Then the pixel is the important piece of the puzzle of how Facebook knows that that conversion happened. So you're going to have to create a pixel. It is registration because they signed up. And this would be for the test ad Facebook webinar. I'll just leave it at that because we can use it for all of them. It doesn't just have to be for Marie Forleo's ad. So then we'll create that pixel. Now what we need to do is we need to add it to our website. So I'm going to do it now before I even get ahead of myself for the ad. So in order to do so, you click verify and you want to say, I can add the pixel to my website. This then gives you the code that you need to copy. So you select it all and you copy it. Click OK. Then what I already have open in Press Site, or if you use Lead Pages, whatever you use, you're going to need to enter it in. Now, the handy dandy thing about WordPress is there are plugins that will do it for you. So the Facebook Conversion Pixel plugin will allow for you to add your pixel wherever you want to. So if you want to use it like on a post or a page, those are probably going to be the most common actions. Then you would come over to the thank you page, which I normally have it in Lead Pages, so it's going to be a little different right now. Let me just type in my thank you. So then we would go in to edit the thank you page. And you can see right here, Facebook Pixel Conversion, good check mark, and we would just simply paste the code. Copy. Oh, you're probably not seeing it again, are you? Let me. Oh, you are. Okay. I just had to look at my screen to make sure. So then you would paste the code, which I did not copy. My copy is clearly not working today. Well, for whatever reason, copy and pasted is not working. But that's all you have to do. Then once you paste it in, you update your page. And that's it. It's added. So you want to make sure it's on the thank you page because that is the goal that they have accomplished. That means they have converted over. Then once you have that installed, it'll take that away and say that you verified, and this will be a green light and you'll be good to go. Then you want to create the actual ad. Now I'm naming it again Marie Forleo because this ad is only going to target one person. You can put multiple interests together, but the thing that I found is that it makes it really difficult to track what pages are converting for you and what are not. I have some people that I have on my list that when I target them, they never convert, so I've stopped targeting to them. This is how you will find out what people are converting and what aren't. Some people say that Marie Forleo doesn't convert for them because so many people target it. I have not found that yet, but you will because this is how you're setting them up and you'll be able to see which ones are converting and which ones aren't. Now we're processing. So now we have the ad, but it doesn't have any content. It doesn't even have any interest that we're targeting. It doesn't have any of that, right? So it's telling us that our conversion pixel has not been added yet, and we haven't even filled out this ad. So we're going to start with the budget and schedule. Do you want to have a per day budget or a lifetime budget? I always do per day, but the nice thing about having a lifetime budget is that you can schedule it to run at very specific times. Otherwise, when you do a per day, it just runs all day long. So that's up to you as to what you want to do. Like I said, we normally do the per day, unless it's like a launch and we only want that ad to run a specific dates and times. So then you want to start your schedule, and then from there, you're going to pick like the time that it started. Again, I always just leave it what it is, and just as soon as they approve it, I have them run it. Then you're going to scroll down to the audience, and you're going to click Edit Audience, and then you're going to create this audience that you're targeting for this ad. Now you can save the target group so that you can just keep referring back to it every time. And I'll show you another spot where you can create it at. But for right now, we're just going to go through here, and I'm just going to show you how to do this because I'm trying to keep it a little quick. I know this is Saturday, and I know you've been on here almost for an hour and a half, but it's some good info, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to pick your locations. I always select like dominant countries that I see in my Google Analytics, which would be like Canada, Mexico, United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Australia, and I think that's it. Those are like my main states. And then I'm going to go back to the age again, and that's where I would select 35 to 44. Then I would select women, and I would go into more demographics. Remember when I was talking about the household? This is where you can come down to home ownership. You can select home owners. Then you go back to more demographics. You go back to home. No. Where is it at? Oh, home value. Yes, my bad. So then you go to home type. Then you go to home value, and you can select. So we can select 200,000, 300,000, and is there one for up? Oh, that one goes up to the 500,000. So remember when we were looking at our audience insight, and the greatest number of people were at this level for home ownership. So that's why I selected that. It's giving me insights. I'm paying for the majority rather than the minority. Now you can select to go with minority if you want to, but I want to reach the maximum number of people with my ad. From there, then I'm going to come down to my interest, and this is where I'm going to type in Marie Forleo. And I'm going to select her. And you can see that based upon, so we only have United States selected. We didn't, let me change my birthday. So with that, now we're reaching about 1,600 people. But that's 1,600 people that are highly targeted for my mastermind, right? They're like people that would definitely be interested in it, or so I think, because they like Marie Forleo, right? So let's say that you are a dating coach. Well, an important demographic for you to go in here and check is you're going to go to relationship, and you're going to go to relationship status. And you're probably going to pick single, divorced, and those divorced, probably not separated, definitely not married, and definitely not engaged, right? Because you're a dating coach. So you're going to pick those options so that you can really target who you are reaching. So now you only have 220 people, but you know that they are the exact ideal customers that you want to reach. So once you have that broke down, then you click save. Now, the next step is the placement. I always uncheck right column. I always uncheck partner mobile apps. I only keep desktop feed and mobile feed. That's just, think about when you click on most ads, how are you clicking on them? You're clicking on them in the news feed. So I like to keep those two selected. So then I've got this whole section is ready to go. I'm going to click over on ads and I'm going to build this ad. Now you can, first you need to choose your Facebook page. So I picked Allie Rittenhouse. Now you can pick an existing post and run the ad to it. And it'll bring down all of my posts here so that I can run ads to them if I want to. Or I can create a new ad right here. And basically you're just going to fill out this information and it's going to show up here for you to see. So let me show you, let me see if I can find an existing post that we ran an ad to. So the B-School one. B-School's over, but this is what I had this post on my page, and this is what the ad is going to look like. And you can see 15,000 views is what we had just for this one video for the ads that we ran to it. And when they see this ad, they'll also get the like page option, so they can choose to like it or you know, interact with it or whatever. So that's basically setting up your website or setting up your Facebook ad in the Power Editor. Once you have that done and you're ready to submit it to Facebook for them to go live with it, you're going to click Upload Changes. And then it's going to say, okay, we have one new change for this campaign. We're going to click Continue. And it's now running it. Now I'm going to cancel it. I don't, oh, it did already upload it. So I'm going to have to go back into, I'll go back into my other campaign and I'll shut it down. But that's how you run an ad in the Power Editor. It took a little longer than I anticipated it for, but hey, it's good info, right? And I'd rather you be thorough and you know than it not be enough for you. So as I mentioned, you can create an audience as well that you continue to target. So it's back over here on the left-hand side. You can click audience. And once it loads, you can see that you can create an audience right here. Now, I'm not going to go into this. I'm just telling you that you can do this. You click the green button and you can select to create a custom audience, a lookalike audience, or save a target group. So that is basically to run your ads and your yearly, monthly, and weekly marketing plan. You now have it. So I'm going to switch back to my camera. We're going to stop screen presenting. Hey, we're back. Hair. I like to talk with my hands. I like to flip my hair around, so I'm glad that it still looks that good. Even though there's a few flyaways happening there, but hey, I at least put some makeup on for you today. It is Saturday after all. All right, so I'm going to start reading some of the questions that we have received. If you have any, let me know. I'm here to help answer them for probably the next 10 or 15 minutes or so, however long it takes. So let me start reading them. If you have them, you can submit them right on the page, and I will answer them for you. So when I'm talking about Social 15, it is whatever social network is best for you. If you are active on Instagram and that's what works best for you, then spend your 15 minutes a day there, commenting on posts, tagging friends, whatever your daily activities are on that social network. That would be the one that I stick with. We have people that love Twitter. I, on the other hand, am not as maybe versed on Twitter as I should be. It's just not one of my networks. So whatever one works best for you. I will tell you that Instagram is blowing up. People are having such great marketing success on it that if you want to spend your 15 minutes a day interacting, that would be a great place. Now, one place that is also seeing great results this year are Facebook groups. So maybe you spend your 15 minutes a day in Facebook groups, commenting, supporting, sharing, interacting. Whatever it is, I just want you doing it daily, because so often people get into scroll mode where they're scrolling and they're reading, but they're not interacting and doing anything. They're wasting time and they're not growing their business at all with it. So I hope that answered that question. So a lot of the questions were my screen was black. I hope that you hung out and you got the info that you needed. Apparently, so with GoToMyWebinar, I learned that when you put it into presentation mode, you have to be on PowerPoint. And apparently with Google Hangouts, you also have to be on PowerPoint. I was trying to do it with Keynote, so I think that's why you guys were seeing the black screen. So I will remember that next time so that hopefully that doesn't happen again. So I think that is all the questions that we had. Does anybody else have any? I'm going to do a refresh. I know this email sometimes takes some time for the questions to come through, but I will be getting you, hopefully you can still see my screen right now too. Or see me, not my screen. But we will get you all of the documents that you need for this marketing plan so that you can start this week. Today, you are just to take it all in. Start thinking about what we talked about and start writing down notes as things inspire you, as you think of freebies or list builds that you can do. But I don't want you to take any action today because I know that I gave you a lot of info. Now, tomorrow and Monday, I want you to begin slowly with the weekly plan. I want you to practice doing the little steps every day that you can. Now, on Mondays, you're probably going to spend more like an hour or even Sunday night. I like to do Sunday night so that I'm prepared for Monday. But what you're going to do is you're going to want to start planning, prepping, and putting that together. So you're probably going to spend more like an hour. And then the rest of the days of the week, 30 minutes tops is all you need. So that's really only 3 hours a week. I said in 4 hours or less, so you can use that other hour to like write blog posts, to put together your newsletter, so that every week you are marketing your business and push. Because as I said, every time that I talk to women on the phone, every time I get a new email from a woman, this is the one thing they're lacking, and this is the most important part. Seriously, I know clients are probably the most important part, but you can't get clients if you're not marketing yourself. So let's begin here. Let's start with this week. Let's make your marketing plan. Let's implement it and take action on it. Now, we have a great Facebook community that I want you to make sure that you join so that you can be sharing your wins in there. We're also going to be doing where every month we're going to have you put in an Excel sheet your different sites that you're getting featured on, your interviews, your guest post, even your own blog post. It's basically like going to be a roll call. We're all going to support each other. But this is also going to enter you to win some fabulous prizes for taking action and making your business work. And they're going to be some of my favorite things from the internet. Again, this is going to be thebomb.com. We are going to help you set up your marketing plan, stick to it, and have success with your business. So I'm going to take one more look for questions, and if we don't have anything, we'll go ahead and sign off. I already have received a couple Facebook messages about, well, one from people that couldn't see my screen, but that you definitely learned a lot today. So I hope that today was learning. Tomorrow and Monday are going to be all about taking action in your business and starting to make this business plan work, or this marketing plan work, and putting it into place. So thank you so much for listening to me for the last 90 minutes. It was information packed. I hope that you learned lots and are ready to start successfully marketing your business. This has been Allie Rittenhouse, and I will see you when I email you tomorrow with all of the documents that you need. Remember, take today to just let it all sink in and think about it. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great Saturday.